The colonial history of the United States spans from the early 1600s to the late 18th century, when 13 British colonies on the Atlantic coast laid the foundation for what would become the United States. This era was marked by European exploration, settlement, economic growth, and conflicts with both indigenous peoples and European rivals. Early colonization and European settlements. The first successful English colony was Jamestown, Virginia, founded in 1607 by the Virginia Company. Colonists faced harsh conditions including disease, famine, and conflicts with Native American tribes. However, the introduction of tobacco cultivation helped Jamestown prosper. In 1620, the Pilgrims established Plymouth Colony in present-day Massachusetts. Seeking religious freedom, they formed the Mayflower Compact, an early example of self-governance. Later, the Puritans settled the Massachusetts Bay Colony, emphasizing religious strictness and education. Meanwhile, the Dutch founded New Netherland, later New York, in 1624, and the French established settlements in Canada and along the Mississippi River, focusing on fur trade. The English gradually took control of Dutch territories in the mid-1600s. Colonial economy and society. The colonial economy was diverse depending on geography. The New England colonies, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and New Hampshire, relied on shipbuilding, fishing, and trade. The middle colonies, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, had fertile land for farming and became known for grain production. The southern colonies, Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia, developed plantation economies driven by cash crops like tobacco, rice, and indigo, relying heavily on enslaved African labor. Conflicts and growth. Relations with Native Americans were complex, with periods of trade and cooperation but also violent conflicts like the Pequot War, 1636 to 1638, and King Philip's War, 1675 to 1676, in New England. The French and Indian War, 1754 to 1763, part of the global 7 Years' War, saw Britain and its colonies fighting against French and Native American forces. Britain's victory expanded its North American territory but led to tensions over new taxes imposed on the colonies. Path to revolution. By the mid-18th century, colonial dissatisfaction with British rule grew. Policies like the Stamp Act, 1765, and Townshend Acts, 1767, angered colonists, who resisted through protests and boycotts. The Boston Tea Party, 1773, and British retaliation fueled revolutionary sentiment. By 1775, the American Revolution had begun, leading to the colony's independence in 1776. The colonial period shaped the social, political, and economic foundations of the United States. From early settlements to the struggle for independence, the era was marked by European ambition, cultural exchanges, and conflicts that set the stage for the nation's future.